What's going on, guys? Just got back out to Collin's shop. I've been out for a few days, had some teeth pulled. Collin is plugging along on the transmission swap, putting a 95 transmission into 72 Ford. Biggest fab work you're probably going to run into on this is the pedal situation. So this is the factory out of the 72.
Yeah, I didn't want to chop this one up because I thought for some reason if I ever wanted to go back to stock, like I still got this. But I have a bunch of these pickups, so I took the pedals. This is pedal assembly out of another one, and I cut it all up. But if you have power, if you don't have power brakes, you probably don't have to do any of this. Like what you could probably do is just take this arm and put it on here at such an angle like this, and it would operate your slave cylinder. But with the power brake booster, you got to be like 4 inches out. So you would have to take this and like bend it over 4 inches. Well, my thoughts are here is that is an awful lot of leverage on this piece. So you're going to end up with it bending or maybe even breaking this off. So what I decided to do is this is the pedal assembly out of the 95, which the biggest thing is the steering column goes in between here. And I didn't know if it was going to fit, but it does. And it's like, I mean, it's close. It's like 1/4 of an inch, but it fits in between here. And in your pedal configuration, like this one was turned over like this, which was almost overlapping your gas pedal. And then this one was like a flat pedal like this. So what I ended up doing is I had another one out back, and I cut two of these offset, or cut this offset pedal off the one out back, rotated this one, and put that one on there. Now this distance here, I was afraid was getting a little close, but I have a Fox body Mustang and a 3rd gen Camaro and a Roadrunner that this distance is exactly the same. So it should not, I mean, it worked fine in those cars, and they were made that way. So this should work fine. The other thing is like when I was originally trying to get this up in there, I assumed that I had to use these holes here. Well, that's not the case, because in the 72, this actually is offset, like it sets down. So I had to re-drill these holes up here, and that's why this is kind of chopped up, is because I was trying to get that thing clear up underneath the dash, but I didn't need to do that. So anyways, this is the back sides. And you can see here, like how they mount. So anyways, so basically these holes are these holes now. Well, you need to have, you know, all these holes up here because you're pressing up against this. So I actually cut the top part off of this steel, which is from a 70s, I don't know, or 60s or whatever, 67 to 72. And anyway, so I grafted it onto the top of here. You can see there. Yeah. So anyway, so that got grafted onto the top of there. And so then I bolted it all up there, and then, you know, marked this or whatever and cut that all out. And so anyways, there's this other bracket here that then ties to your, under your dash and holds your steering column. So now I'll bolt this whole thing up in here, and then I'll put this up on the dash, and then I'll make a plate that actually comes up to here and then utilizes these bolt holes here. Because like if I made this all as one unit, you're not gonna, it sticks too far up in the dash. You would never get this up into the dash. So you got to do it in 2 parts. And so yeah, this is the next step. But this is done enough. Besides the brake switch here, which I'll figure that out later. That ain't a big deal. I'll just have to weld a tab to this, because this part of it is still on here. Right. And so I'll just have to put something there. But this can be bolted into the pickup now, and it is ready to go. So we had to do a little bit of modification on the firewall over here.
Yeah, he had so there was a part of the firewall that was kind of pushed out, and it was preventing him from putting in the slave cylinder. You can see right there.
Am I making it worse?
No, you're good. So basically he relief cut it, and then I held a block on the inside while he kind of hammered it in. So now he should be able to get his slave cylinder mounted up.
And then that hole up above is the hole that I got for the slave cylinder.
Oh, and then there. So I think a lot of the heavy fab work is pretty much done.
thing before I forget about it, and I was thinking about this the other day. A lot of people I've read, they always say, well, if you use this transmission, you can't use your speedometer because they quit putting speedometers into transmissions in like 88, I think was the last year for it. Well, they're wrong. If you get the tail shaft from an 88, which is what this is, or 88 and earlier, 87, 88, or I could be wrong on these years. This is just, but whatever. The 95 did not have provisions for a speedometer, which would go in here. But the tail shaft that is in there has all the marks for the C-clip, the ball that hold, it's all in there. So all you got to do is get the stuff from the older bodies or the older style, and you can have your speedometer here. So, and they tell me that the speedometer gear off of the 72 will just plug. The transmission shop told me this, which we have yet to find out. We'll just plug in there and it will work. So,
I guess we'll find out.
but anyways, so yeah, we got the new clutch, slave cylinder, and all that stuff. New flywheel.
Yep, clutch.
And this is all from this is all for 95. I measured the back of the engine from the 72. This is a 306 cylinder. Measured it from the 72 to the 95, and they're all like within like a couple thousandths of each other. So which leads me to believe that Ford never changed like the block or the crank. Like it was always the same. And this is a zero balance flywheel, which I guess all the 300s were, which is good because I kind of freaked out after I ordered all this stuff thinking that, oh, what did I do? And then for the slave cylinder, Ford has this really sweet plastic line that like is nowhere near fitting what that pickup is. So actually, RockAuto had a braided line. Actually, I think it's for like a Mazda or something. But anyways, it supposedly has these ends on it, and it's like 4 feet long. So it has yet to come. It's supposed to be here Monday. So hopefully that will take care of that. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know. We'll just see.
Yeah.
So
And we'll get
we'll
obviously,
put some part
yeah,
numbers.
we'll get part numbers up. Obviously, if all this stuff we're kind of waiting to see to make sure everything's gonna work. But I haven't been out for a few. I've been out for a few days, so I haven't been out to the shop. And he needed a hand getting a dowel and stuff out, so I buzzed out real quick. Probably won't be back out for another couple of days. Kind of waiting for some stitches and everything to heal up. But this is kind of crucial if you're doing this, and I wanted to make sure I got video of everything
yeah,
before.
like no one covers this.
Yeah, so before he molts it back up into the truck, I kind of wanted to just have him go over what he did.
I've tried to do tons of research on this swap, which I feel like this is like a very, for the price point and everything like that, this is a very economical swap, but no one ever goes into detail of what it takes to do it. So
Yeah.
this is me trying to tell you what to do.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it for this. And when we get picked back up on this, or I get back out here and I'm able to film, hopefully I'll have some damn mics by then too, so we're not like screaming into the phone. So yeah, till the next one. We'll catch you guys later.
Yeah. Great.